Alright, let's see. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. And today I'm gonna try something different. My channel is mostly about video gaming and playing video game gameplays, but today I'm gonna try something new and different. I'm gonna try playing Marvel Champions solo on YouTube and to live stream it. And I'm gonna be going Psylocke versus Mr. Sinister, but just a standard difficulty to get to test out my deck and see how this is gonna work, how this thing is gonna do. Hopefully it's gonna be okay, but who knows? It's whatever. I'm just trying to do new things because my video games did not really make get me all
Work
the
how
views,
this
but it could be because I went too much too long. I went too long and I've kind of yeah, did not get many views for it. But today I'm gonna try my luck with World Champions and see how it goes. Just give me a sec here, just gonna post this. Okay, so basically this is the villain. It's Mr. Sinister, and he has two scheme, one attack. And his objective is to basically what he has is first response after a status card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place one threat on the main scheme. So basically what that means is like he wants to, so every time I put like a tough status card, like if I put one of these cards on him, a tough status, confused, or stunned, whenever he gets one of these guys, he puts a +1 counter on the main scheme, which are these things, and when the main scheme completes, it's game over. So there's two ways to lose: either if the main scheme completes and gets to the final stage, which I believe is stage 3, and it completes, or if my character who I'm using is Psylocke. I'm playing her in my new aggression deck, and if she loses all 10 HP, that's another way to lose. So basically, I'm gonna try to deal with him as soon as I can, but he also gets this mechanic where he gets to add a flight, telepathy, or strength to his deck, and that usually makes it a little more challenging to defeat him. And in standard mode, I have to defeat phase 1 and phase 2 Mr. Sinister. So basically, they're both the same, except they have higher HP or different abilities. And I am just doing one shot, and the module deck I chose is Lady Deathstrike. It's a surgeon deck. I want to see how fun this is going to be. As for my standard, as my standard deck, I chose I'm going with standard 3 from Age of Apocalypse, which basically there's 4 counters on him. He flips, and I find my I'm gonna find my how you say, find my nemesis, and bring it out, and then I'll have to deal with that. Usually having nemesis minions is not fun, because if you get nemesis out, it's gonna slow you down. They have some kind of disadvantage to you, or make it a lot weaker. And I'm using Hope Summers module as well. It's part of the setup. I have to add flight, super strength, telepathy on the side. So it's one of these guys, and as I play through the game, I believe there's a way he chooses which of those he's gonna add to his deck, and it can go up all the way up to 2 maximum. So we'll see how that's gonna play out. Hopefully, it's not going to be flight, because flight is just annoying to deal with, especially Mr. Sinister. But overall, he's a really fun scenario. I played him in the campaign, and I'm going to try him in one shot. Okay, so this, for the setup, I'm just finishing up the setup. Set aside the flight, super strength, and telepathy encounter sets. Put Hope Summers into play under the first player's control, which is this one. And she's really unique. Like she has a setup. The first player controls Hope Summers. Hope Summers does not count against my ally limit, which is really nice. On top of that, her base thwart and base attack are equal to the thwart and attack of my hero. So that means if my Psylocke is a 1/1, that means she's gonna be a 1/1 as well, and that's pretty decent, pretty nice. Also, another thing is like she can take damage. The only way she takes damage is um, if I block or some kind of card comes in that forces her to take damage. And also another way to there's a third way to lose. So first way is lose to threat. Second way, lose my HP all the way down to 0 to Mr. Sinister. And the third way is if Hope Summer dies and as he leaves play, the players lose the game. So we'll see how that's gonna play out. Hopefully I can pull through. And the deck I went is I'm playing Betsy Braddock, also known as Psylocke, and she has a really nice mechanic. Like I can exhaust a Psy Energy upgrade to shuffle one Psionic card from my discard pile to my deck, which basically lets me reshuffle my Psionic cards and reuse them again, which is really nice. On top of that, when she also has another ability when she's in hero form, when she has a Psy Energy control which has an interrupt. So when I use one of my her basic powers for attack or defense, I get to play one Psy Energy upgrade. So these are my two upgrades. They start on the dagger side and they flip. So the dagger side gives it +1 thwart, and I can exhaust them to get a generate the science resource. And if I flip them to Psychotana, that gives her basically +1 attack, and her attack is getting piercing, which is really nice. That means I can pierce through toughness skills. And the hero resource is that exhaust. I can exhaust Psychotana, which is really nice, and I can generate the strength resource. So I have more ways of bringing out more powerful cards on the field to help me deal with the villain. As for my deck, I went with Professor X. A Professor X is always good to have in a Psylocke deck because he has like free thwart and lets me basically thwart for free, or I can also confuse or ready enemies with confuse. I can confuse the villain to stun the minion, or I can ready up my X-Men. But unfortunately, Psylocke is not an X-Men; she's an X-Force, so she's going to. So she can basically. Okay, so let me pull up my chat. Docs, chat. Just give me a sec here. Do that. Hey, Dan, thank you for joining my. Oh shit. Thank you for joining my stream. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. And as I was saying, so the basically, let me go to my YouTube app so I can keep an eye on chat. I don't need the volume here, so let me just go here. Yeah, I'm just gonna have my phone running in the background, but I'm just gonna be using it to keep chat, to see my chat running and see what you guys are saying. And as I was mentioning, so as I was saying, the deck, so the cards I chose for this specific Psylocke deck is okay. So as I was saying, I'm using Professor X. He's always a good one to have in any X-Men or X-Force deck because he gives you a free thwart and free confuse and free stun and even a free ready up. Then the other card I chose is the Power of the Mind. Of course, let me do all the basics first. So I chose the Power of the Mind. Forge is really good because he lets me fetch for X Force or X-Men support, which is really nice. That can help me get my supports up, which can help me out, which can help me with getting on my board state ready. Another one I'm using is Cerebro that lets me I get to search my deck, my full deck if I'm a Psionic. I can search my full deck for an ally, which that's fine. That is totally fine, my friend. I'm just I, as, I'm just glad you're joining me here. I'm hoping to see how well this is gonna do. So, yeah, with Cerebro out on the field. I can exhaust it in her alter ego, which lets me search my entire deck for a specific ally I want and add it to my hand, which is really nice sort of for psionic decks. And then I used energy, but that's that's literally every deck I use has energy. So yeah, two powers of mine that lets me double the resources to cast generate for playing a psionic card, which is really good because she has a lot of psionic cards in her deck, which lets her uh, play them for cheap right away, which is really useful for her. Next, I went with X Bunker. It's not the best, but I think it might be useful. I pay two. I exhaust the X Bunker and choose a player whose identity has the mutant trait. I get to search the top X cards of the deck for any card where X is number of side schemes in victory display, and adds that card to my hand, which is really nice. And I have three side schemes in this deck, which if I can get rid of them, they'll go to my victory display and I can use them. And with that, I can use the X Bunker to draw more cards, which is really nice as well. More draw power. Next, I chose iPack. I don't know how good this one's gonna do. I can only play it if I have an X-Force trait, which I do. She's an X-Force agent. And I get to exhaust iPack and deal one phaser encounter card to a player, which is a downside, but the upside is I get to draw two more cards for cost of one encounter card being added to my field. I can use this to exhaust it and I get to draw two cards, which is also really nice. And then I added, yeah, just standard strength, energy, um, yeah, energy, strength, and genius, which are really useful. So next I added Legion. He's an ally. He costs 3. However, he has a response ability. So after Legion uses a basic power, which is either thwart or attack, I get to discard the top card of my deck. If that card printed resource cost is either energy, I get to deal 2 damage to an enemy. Science, I remove 2 threat from a scheme. Or if it's a strength, I get to heal 2 damage from Legion, which is also pretty okay. Not the best card, not the best attack toward an attack, but it's a good for chump blocking and to help me deal some damage. And next I used, let's see, all my other basics. So that's all for basics, I also added Superpower Training, which is a side scheme. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard power for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play, which is really nice. I can fetch a specific upgrade I found for Psylocke that's identity-specific to her and use that upgrade and play it for free, which is also a nice bonus to have. She has some decent upgrades. Some of them give her like plus on defense. But one of the best ones is Psionic Training because this one here lets her um, ignore the guard and patrol keywords, which is really nice. And after she tours, I discard Psionic Training and I confuse the enemy. So another free confuse for True Solo. Uh, so those are some of her good upgrades I'll be trying to aim for. Next, I also added build support in my deck. I get to each player search their deck and discard for a support with a cost 3 or less. So this basically lets me search for a support card in my deck, and and that support card I get to play it I put it into play support. I have a few. I have like Cerebro, X Bunker, iPad, and if I get them out, if I can get them out early, that's also pretty nice. Not the best, but again, this is a first step playtest of my new deck I made, so we'll see how it goes. If I feel like I need some changes, I'll do it, but we'll see. So, those basically are all my basic cards I chose for this specific Psylocke deck. We'll see how it's gonna do. Now, for her aggression aspect, I chose an ally called Sunfire. He basically, after I play Sunfire from my hand, I get to spend an energy resource, and I can choose an attachment with a text hero action or hero response and discard it. So this basically what it means is it lets me, if the villain gets attachment that says specifically like hero response, do this, and if I play him, I get to discard it for free, which is nice. And he has a 1 2 attack. Not the best word, decent attack, costs 2. So we'll see how that's gonna play out. Next, I added Gold Balls. He's a 1/1, not the strongest, but he has a really nice ability called Interrupt. So here's this ability that's an interrupt. So when the Gold Balls attacks, interrupt is like I can interrupt during either player's turn, either mine or the villain's turn. And what he does is when Gold Balls attacks, discard up to 3 cards on the top of my deck, which is nice. Well, not the best, but it's okay. He gets plus X attack for this attack, where X is the number of cards discarded this way. So that means if I discard, let's say, three cards from my deck, he gets free attack. So he can go out and deal 4 damage to the villain. He's a costly one. He costs 3 resources to play, but he can be useful as well to help me deal with Mr. Sinister and see how it goes. Again, I'm just testing this deck, so we'll see how that's gonna play out. Next, I added Wolverine as one of my most expensive ally. He costs 4. He has 1 toward 3 attack. He has 4 HP. His attack is being piercing. However, and he has a response. So after my turn begins, so every time I begin my turn, Wolverine gets to heal 1 damage, which is really nice. And he does free, and his damage is like 3 damage at once. And he does take 2 damage back from it, but that's fine because I can just heal the damage back, no issues, which is really good. He's my most expensive and most powerful ally in this deck. So basically, I want to play him when I can, and yeah. So that's that. Next, I added, let's see who else from allies. Okay, next ally I added from aggression is Boom Boom, and what she does is she's a 1/1 attack 1 toward, not the best, 2 HP, but her ability is really unique. So she has an action, so I get to exhaust Boom Boom. I add 1 Boom counter to her. Then I may discard Boom Boom to deal 1 damage to each enemy for each Boom counter on her. So basically, what this means is, let's say I had, I don't know, 3 Boom counters on Boom Boom. I can discard her. Yeah, I can discard her and she'll deal 1 damage to each enemy for each Boom Boom counter. So basically, she's an AoE attack. She's an area attack, which let's even deal like maybe with 3 minions and villain, which is nice. She's more of like she's okay. She seems pretty decent. Also, she costs 3, but she looks like she could be a useful card to have in this deck. Again, we will see how it plays out. So I believe those are my aggression allies. Yeah. So those are the only aggression allies I added. The next card I added from aggression is Keep Them Busy. It's a side scheme. It costs 1 to play. I can pay, and it starts with free threat, and I remove free threat and has this thing called Assault. So basic thwarts against this scheme use attack instead of thwart. So that means usually when you do attack, you thwart, you use your thwart value, which is the blue one, which is the blue icon. But with this one, it switches. So instead of the thwart icon, it uses the attack icon to thwart. But the good thing is, once this gets destroyed, I get to defeat remove 5 threats from the main scheme. So this is a threat removal. It can help me remove threat. Again, we'll see how it plays out. If I don't feel like it's not as useful, I'll replace it. I'm just playtesting this deck because it's a new deck I made. Now, for her aggression attacks, I added 3 times Psychic Assault. What this does basically, it's an attack event, and I can only play it if I have the Psionic Trait, which I do. It's a hero action, so it's an attack, so I get to deal 3 damage to the enemy and confuse that enemy. So this lets me deal 3 damage to the enemy and confuse them. When they're confused, it's good to go to Alter Ego because they can't scheme, and when they can't scheme, that gives me a bit of time to breathe and get my board set up, so I can finish the enemy up in one blow. So these guys are really nice. I always use them in my aggression psionic decks for Psylocke or even Cable yeah, Psylocke, Cable, basically any hero that's psionic, I use these cards. Next attack event I added for my aggression is Psybo attack. I added 3 copies. Again, it's really good. I get to deal 4 damage to an enemy. So yeah, just 4 damage right away. And I also get to it gains range. What range? I don't know exactly what range does. Don't really understand it, but I think what it does is I get to reach flyers. I guess. If you guys have better idea what it does, stop. Please go ahead and tell me. And the final aggression card I added is Test the Defense. It's an upgrade, costs 1. It's max 1 per player, so I can have more than 1. And it has a response. So after I play an attack event, place 1 test counter here. If there's 5 test counters here, I can discard this card and deal 5 damage to an enemy. So attack events are events like Psychic Assault, Psybo Attack, Flurry of Blades, and yeah. So that's basically my aggression deck I made for this. It's new aggression deck I made. We're gonna playtest it my first time against Mr. Sinister one shot to see how it goes. So let's see. Let me just do the shuffle and let me finish the setup for the main scheme. I always just try to keep it to 40 cards per deck because, yeah. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so my deck is shuffled. The encounter deck is shuffled. Now let's do the main scheme setup. Okay, that's done. Okay, let's reveal it. So when revealed, remove 1 random stage 2 from the game, then advance to random stage 2. So the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna roll a die. Let me grab one. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whichever I roll on the dice, that's what's gonna get removed. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a free, so this one gets removed. Then I get to choose a random. So again, this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is gonna be 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so this one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this one is the one that gets revealed. Okay, and this one, it's removed from play, I believe. Yeah, this one is not used anymore. Okay, so let's remove that. So, the main scheme I'm gonna be dealing with is focusing in. And this one, when revealed, attach the telepathy attachment to Mr. Sinister and shuffle the rest of the telepathy encounter set into the encounter deck. So I'm looking for the telepathy one. That's flight. Super strength. So this one's telepathy then. Alright, so I'm gonna attach telepathy to Mr. Sinister like that. And shuffle the rest into the encounter deck. And what telepathy does is, it's a permanent, which means it stays in play for the rest of the game. And it gives +1 scheme to the villain, so he does his schemes for free now. And he get attached villain gains the psionic trait and retaliate 1. So that means so basically just gets psionic, and that means after this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. So that means when let's say I attack with Psylocke on Mr. Sinister, retaliate will trigger, and I'll take 1 damage back. So it's not the worst. Starts with one threat, and it gets 2 threats per turn per player. Again, this is through solo, not two-handed, so we will see how this plays out. I know I started my stream late, but I was getting my stuff set up, so I'll see how long I'm gonna run it. I'm hoping to finish the entire Mr. Sinister encounter, but we'll see. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so he starts with 14 HP. I start with 10. And okay, so oh, that's where I was missing. I was like, where's all my cards? And they're right here. Okay, so let me reshuffle this just because. Twenty-eight minutes, not bad. Alright, so let's see how this plays out. I'm not new to card games because I've been playing a lot of Magic, and I'm really also like this game. It's fun and entertaining. So we will see how this goes. I'm not showing my face because I don't have my stuff set up that way. So I will be just hearing my audio for now, unfortunately. Sorry about that. And this is my first ever well, my first ever Psylocke custom deck I made myself without looking at the website. I'll post the link to the deck in the description later, so if you guys want to try it out, you can. But we'll have to see how it's gonna fare against Mr. Sinister standard. Shouldn't be too bad because it's a standard difficulty, which is an easier difficulty than expert. I don't play expert yet because I'm not like super ready for that. And yeah, so let's get started. So hand size 6. Alright, so this is my hand, guys. I have a pretty decent hand. Psycho Attack, Psionic Redirect, The Power of the Mind, Boom Boom, Gold Balls, and Sunrise, Sunfire, which is really nice. Not a decent deck. We'll see how it plays out. But it should be fine. And it will be fine because I already have an idea what I can do here. So first things first, I am going to do this. Oh, I'm gonna put her here. She's an ally. So first of all, what I am going to do, she has free thwart right now, but I don't shuffle this because I do not need it right now. So let's flip her to her hero form, and yeah, so I am in hero form now, Psylocke, and yeah. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna pay the power of the mind. And with that, I'm gonna double the number of resources this card generates while paying for Psionic card, and I am going to be paying for Psybo attack right away, which I'm gonna deal 4 damage to Mr. Sinister immediately. From 14 down to 10 already. But this is just the first phase. Next, I am going to be paying 1, 2, and 3. I may flip this card, but I am going to flip them for now. So that's going to pay for 3 total, and I'm going to be playing Boom Boom. Um, I'm going to exhaust Boom Boom to add 1 Boom counter on her for now. And now Psylocke has 3 attack instead of 1, because I flipped both of my upgrades to that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have Psylocke. I could thwart for 1, but I don't see that difficulty, so I'm going to have Psylocke attack for 3 damage. So that's from 10 all the way down to 1, 2, 3, 7. So we already returned 1, and now we got Mr. Sinister down to 7 from 14 in the first turn. And then that triggers Psylocke's ability, which is Psy Energy Control. So interrupt, and I use one of Psylocke's basic powers for attack or defense. I flip 1 Psy upgrade. And I'm gonna flip one of the swords to be a thing again. And then I'll have Hope Summers thwart for 2. Yeah, so I'll just have her thwarting. And she does not take indirect damage, which is really nice. Okay, and that's gonna be the end of my turn, so I'm gonna drop to 4, which is my hand size. And that's gonna be it. So re-ready everything. And it is now Mr. Sinister's turn. So first things first, this I add 2 threat on the main scheme. Next, he is going to attack. He's attacking for 1 plus whatever is here. What I'm going to do, I have a response to it. I'm going to be playing the Power of the Mind to play Psionic Redirect defense, and I would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, prevent 2 of that damage for each Psychic you control, prevent 2 additional damage for each Psychic you control, confuse that enemy. So I control one katana and one knife. So that means I prevent total of 4 damage. So that's 1 plus 2, so he's doing 3 damage. But I prevent 4, so I don't take any damage at all, if I'm understanding this correctly. And then I'm gonna confuse Mr. Sinister, so he is confused, which triggers his force response. So after the save card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So the scheme goes up to 3. Once it reaches 5, I have to go to the next stage, but it's not gonna reach that because I'm gonna counter it down, lower it down. Next, I'm gonna be getting my first encounter card, which is Dark Design. So basically, I'm playing Standard 3, which came in Age of Apocalypse, and it says when revealed, place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. So that's that. And what this does, once there's 4 counters on it, I get to search for something like Nemesis being, which I'm hoping it's not going to come down to that. And so place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past, and if it has any counters on it, the villain schemes. So he schemes, but he's confused, so he doesn't scheme. So let's shut that down, which is really good for me. Now it's back to me, and what I am going to be doing is, let's see, I am going to pay 1, and I'll be paying 2. I'll be playing X Bunker. I'll be switching this to the knives. So now Psylocke has 3 thwart, 1 attack, and what X Bunker does is exhaust X Bunker and choose a player whose identity has the mutant trait. That player searches the top X cards of their deck for any card where X is the number of side schemes in victory display. I don't need it right now because there's no side schemes, but I'll just play it just because. And then I'm gonna have Psylocke thwart for free, so this goes back down to 0 threat. Next, I'm gonna have Hope attack for 1. And then I'm gonna exhaust Boom Boom to add another counter. Basically, my plan is right now to stack up with counters, with boom counters on her, and then use them, and then use her to, yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of my turn. So I'm gonna redraw back to 4. Nice. All right, another good hand. So I got Psychic Assault, iPack, Training Regiment, Psybo Attack. So I have right here in my hand 3, 4 plus 3. I can deal 7 damage to his face, to Mr. Sinister's face, which is pretty nice. And then that's gonna be the end of my turn. So leave ready everything. And since I use thwart, I have to. It's an interrupt, so I guess it's not forced interrupt, so I don't have to do it. But yeah, I'll do it. So I'm gonna use the interrupt to put this back to the katana. Okay, so back to Mr. Sinister. So this goes up by 2 and 2. He is going to be attacking for 2 and whatever is for 1 and whatever is here. I'm just gonna have Psylocke defend this one. So that's 1 plus 1, that's 2, and it has a boost. Give Mr. Sinister a tough status card, which triggers his force response, which adds an encounter card right here. And he's gonna deal me 2 damage, but I am at 2 defense, so I don't take any damage at all whatsoever, which is nice. And then I gain my encounter card in the encounter step. Let's see it. Oh, I can fix that. Give me a sec. How about now, daytime, during time? Better? Can you see him now, my friend? Let me know if you can, or can. If you can't, I'll try to close it, make it much, much closer. Nice. So, I got Mr. Sinister stage 1 down to 6 HP in 2 turns already. So, you know what? I'll just put it here so you can see, so it's much visible for you guys. Okay, so, and the concurrent card I got is Lady Deathstrike. She is a lieutenant. I'm using a lieutenant Nullure set. I actually like this set. It's really fun. It's challenging, but it is fun. So she gets to be counter play, and she has quick strike, which means she attacks me right away. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to. Uh, yeah, nice. As I mentioned, I will. Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, we'll see if I can beat Mr. Sinister with this deck on my stream. And again, I will link the deck in the description if you want to check it out, or I'll just Discord it to you eventually. Discord DM you. So, we have like Death Strike coming in, and she has Quick Strike, so she's gonna have to deal me 2 damage, and unfortunately, I don't want to lose Hope Summers because if I do, it's game over. So I am going to take the 2 damage. It's not that bad of a deal. So that's down to 8 from 10. How was your day? How was everybody's day today so far? For me, it was super hot. But yeah, so that triggers like Death Strike's ability. So I have to discard 1 card at random. Okay, I'll put it in the description at the end of the stream. And here we go. So I have to discard 1 random card. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get my die. Alright, so let's see which of the 4 cards I'm gonna be discarding. 4. So that's this one. So what did I discard? iPack. That's fine. iPack is not that big of a deal. I'm happy that I got to keep my other cards. Okay. So let's see. So that's it for Lady Deathstrike. And now it's back to my turn. And let's see. My hand, discard 1 card from my hand. So what I am gonna do is I am going to exhaust the Psy Katana and the Psy Knife, and I'm gonna play. No, no, I have a bad idea. So first thing first, I'm gonna have Hope attack Mr. Sinister to get rid of the top status card. Next, I am going to pay 1 and 2, and I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna have to go with Cybo attack, and I'm gonna be targeting. That's 4 damage. You know what? Let's go down. Let's go target Mr. Sinister. 6 minus 4 puts him down to 2. 4. I'm gonna deal with like Destiny next turn. He's down to his last. Yeah. Okay. Next, I am going to. I'll be keeping this in my hand for now, and I'll have Boom Boom exhaust again to get 3 counters. If I can get up to, I'm gonna try to stock up on the Boom Boom counters as much as I can. Okay, and then, you know what, I think this time I'm gonna be flipping over to Alter Ego form, or, No, I'm gonna say in hero form, just because. I'm gonna draw up to 4. Re-ready everything. And yeah, so either way, this goes up by 2, so it's gonna go to the next phase. I can what to do. Uh, what to do. So yeah, I have Cerebro, Forge, Psychic Assault, and Training Regimen in my hand. I maybe should have attacked Lady Deathstrike, and then I should have gone. Let's see. Yeah, it's not a big deal, so I'll just end my turn there. This goes up by 2, which moves to phase 2. It's at 5. Sinister Experiment, and this one is taking off, which means attach the flight attachment. Ooh, rough. And he gains aerial trait, he gains overkill, which means that he'll deal damage, or if has some damage, any damage left over, he's going to be dealing it. Shuffle the white stuff inside the deck. I still think I can get through this, like, Zoe is the last 2 HP on phase 1, so that's not that big of a deal. Okay, so that's done. Alright, so next, this starts with 1. Alright, so Mr. Sinister is going to... He's gonna attack. That's 2 plus what is here. I'm gonna have to defend this one, so Psylocke is gonna defend. That's 2 plus 1, that's 3, and boost. If the villain is attacking, he gains overkill. Let's see, so I've defended for 2, so that's 1 plus 1, that's 2 plus 3. That's 3 damage. I worked for 2, overkill, I take 1 damage. Unfortunately. Okay. And then Lady Deathstrike's going to attack. I am gonna have to. I don't really if I block with Hope Summer, that's 2 damage on her. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to block with Hope, so she takes 2. That's and then I gain an encounter card. Oh, I choose her random card, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Okay, training regiment's gone. I gain an encounter card, reveal it. Nowhere is safe. Actually, when you will place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. And then if it has any on discard, upgrade or support, I control. I'm gonna discard the X bunker. I think this might need some small changes because, yeah, but we'll see. But anyway, that's not that bad. So next, I'm gonna do. Now it's back to my turn, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay 2. I'm gonna play Psychic Assault. I'm going to be dealing. Let's go 3 damage to. Yeah, I'm gonna do 3 damage to Mr. Sinister because I'm gonna get him to phase 2. Alright, so phase 2, he goes up to 17 HP. Yeah, so 17 HP, and So we'll place one threat on the main scheme, two threat if there's only fewer than two, so he gets one threat on the main scheme. But I also confuse him, which puts another threat on the taking off. So that puts it to 3. Oh, it's 2 threats, sorry. Okay, so it's at 4. And then I'm gonna use Boom Boom again. I'm gonna have her get another counter, which puts her at 4. And then I'm gonna have Psylocke flip to Alter Ego because I need to heal up a little bit. And then I'm going to pay 1, and I'll play Cerebro. I'm going to exhaust Cerebro to search my entire deck for an X-Men ally and add it to my hand. So, X-Men allies. You know what? Let's go with X-Men ally. Who do we want? No, let's go Professor X. So, yeah, I added Professor X to my hand. Shuffle. Draw my cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ready everything, and that's going to be the end of my turn. This goes up by 2, which moves it not to phase 2. I mean the final phase. Sinister end, but when revealed, they each play 1 phase down encounter card. And then let's flip this over. Starts at 0, gets +1 each turn. When he attacks Hope instead. But others can defend it. Okay. So, that said, he is gonna scheme, but he's confused, so he doesn't. And Lady, she's gonna scheme for 1. I gain another encounter card. And then I reveal my 2 cards. So first one, Sinister Strike. Place Alter Ego plays 1 counter on Pursued by the Past. If it has any counters on it, it gains Search, so I gain another one. Play Sinister Soldier, so he's an ally that gets to be played. Well, not ally, a minion, to be more specific. But they won't be long because I have like 4 damage here. And my final card is 1 step ahead. When revealed, discard 1 random card from my hand, 2 random cards instead if it has the aerial trait. Ooh, that's rough. This is gonna be a little annoying, but make this 1, 2, 5, 6, so 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, so that's this one. That gets discarded. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Okay, so there is no 6, but we have to do this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's do it that way. 4, so that's this one. And dang it, my strength. Oof, that's rough. That's rough, I'm telling you guys. Pretty rough start there. Well, anyhow, it's back to me. And what I'm gonna do is could exhaust 1, 2, let's see what it is. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna use for second ability. I'm gonna use Betsy's alter ego ability, which lets me exhaust one Psy energy, upgrade, shuffle one. I'm gonna exhaust Psychotana. I get to shuffle one Psionic card from my discard pile into my deck, and the card I want to reshuffle is a Psionic Redirect. It's a defense card and it's really useful. So let's do that. I need to deal, let's see, it should be flipped this way, because then I know what it is. Okay, so I did that. Ooh, what we got? Each second I control deal 2 damage to it. Nice. So I'm gonna swap back, I'm gonna flip to hero form on Psylocke. And now while I'm in this form, I think what I'm gonna do is I could do this to 4 damage to an enemy. I could Flurry of the Blades. I'll save this for later. So, yeah, I'm gonna play 1 and 2, and I'll play Psybo attack. I'm gonna deal 4 damage to Mr. Sinister. 4, push him down to 13. And then I am going to have Boom Boom. That's 4, 5. No, let's change of tack. We're gonna deal 4 damage to Lady Deathstrike because yeah. So 6 minus 4, 6, 6 minus 4, yeah, so 4 damage. That's fine. So I'm gonna do 4 damage to her instead of Mr. Sinister. I'm gonna change my plan here, and then I'm gonna have so Cloud has 2 Thwart and 2 attack. Okay. I'm gonna have Psylocke attack for 2 on Mr. Sinister. 1 and 2, pushing down to 15. I'm gonna have Hope attack for 2 as well. 1 and 2, that puts him down to 13 HP. And next, I'm going to have Boom Boom. I'm gonna exhaust Boom Boom to add another counter on her, so that's 5 now. And I could, yeah, I'm gonna do that now. So I'll go to my end step. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna discard Boom Boom afterwards, and I'm gonna be dealing a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to all enemies. So 5 damage to Mr. Sinister, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, puts him down to 8. 5 damage to Sinister Soldier, which takes him out of the picture, and 5 damage to Lady Deathstrike, which also takes her out of the picture, gives me a breathing room. He has retaliate 1, so I have to take 1 attack back. That's fine. Okay, and I'll end it there. So I'm gonna draw 4. Ready up. And end my turn there. So this goes up by 1. And then Mr. Sinister is going to be attacking Hope Summers, but so he's gonna attack. I'm gonna have to defend with Psylocke. That's 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, that's 5. 6 damage. I defend for 2. 6 minus 2. I take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oof, puts him down to 2. He's down to his last 8 HP. We'll see how this plays out. Okay, I gain an encounter card. Reveal it. Teleport it away. Uh, Attack his schemes instead. So that's 3 plus 1. That's 4. Okay. That's it. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna have to deal with. I mean, I have to take teleport the way down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay 1, 2, and 3 to play Professor X. After I play, oh, and I'm gonna flip this over. I may flip it. I'm gonna flip it to this. Let's see, that's 8. I can deal 3 damage. No, I have to deal with that first. So I'm gonna use Professor X to ready Psylocke. Well, X-Men. No, I can't ready her. I am going to confuse Mr. Sinister. And next, I'm gonna have Professor X thwart for free to get rid of that. And then he takes 1 damage. And then I'm gonna have Hope thwart for 2, not 3. So let's get rid of that. And he's confused, so he gets 2. I confuse him, so he gets 2 of these. This gets shut down. And then I'm gonna flip. I did I flip to hero form? Did I flip? Okay, I did. I'm gonna flip Psylocke back to alter ego form. I don't remember if I flipped or didn't flip. Yeah. Okay, I'll end my turn there. Drop to 6, 5, and 6. Ready up. Okay. Alright, it is. Oh, this goes up by 1. 3, 4, 5. Mr. Smith is gonna scheme, but he is confused, so that doesn't count, which is nice. And then I get to get an encounter card, reveal it. If I'm in alter ego, it gains search. What do we got? Attach element without a copy of. I'll attach the adamantine. I got adamantium claws. I'm gonna attach those to Mr. Sinister. Whew, he is getting buffed there, but he's almost done. Like he's 8 HP left, and I'm at 2 HP sadly. But I have ways to deal with him, so I can deal 2. Okay, now it's back to my turn. Professor X goes away because of his thing gimmick, and then I'm gonna flip to her hero form, and then I am going to pay these 2. I'll flip them over both. That costs me 2 and 3, and I'll play Flurry of the Blades. Yeah, Flurry of Blades, which deals 2 damage to an enemy for each Psy until I confuse it. For each Psychotana, I deal 2 additional damage. So I deal 2, 4, 5, 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And time to finish him off. And I'll just use Psylocke to attack him for. He has retaliated, right? Yeah, so I have to take 1 damage. However, I am gonna play. I'll have him attack for 3 damage, which takes him out, and that's it. So I actually defeated Mr. Sinister with my new Psylocke deck. I think I might need to do some small changes. The side schemes don't seem that I barely use them, and the X bunker it's okay. But if I use, I might just take out the side schemes and switch them around to something else, like maybe damage. Or I'll keep it as is. Might remove one side scheme though, the red one. But we'll see. So, I have defeated Mr. Sinister. He was at what? 3, 4, 5, 4. We had 5, 8, we had 5 threat on the main scheme. I had 2 HP, but I managed to defeat him, which is really nice. For the first game, I feel like this was actually a fun game. And yes, Mr. Sinister is one of my favorite villains to go up against in one shots. Even in campaign, he's fun, but I'm just gonna do a few more. I'm gonna do more one shots before I start doing campaigns. Anyhow, if you like the game, guys, if you like this deck, if you like the game and the content, please subscribe, leave a comment, and like, and let everybody else know that I'm trying to stream. Yeah, subscribe, share, comment, like. It will help me out a lot. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, and I will leave the deck, my Psylocke deck I made in description of my video. So if you guys want to try it, go right ahead. It's gonna be there. And again, thank you guys for coming by. Thank you, Time, for coming by and joining me. If you want to do any collabs, let me know. I'm down to do those. And yeah, so I'm down to do the collabs with you if you ever want to do them. And I'll leave my yeah. Thanks again, and remember all. General Zod, kneel before Zod. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time for the next Marvel Champions one shot with either Psylocke or different with the same deck with Psylocke again, probably different encounter with some minor deck changes. Once again, thank you all for joining. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I have both. They are you can find I'll link they I believe they are linked in my YouTube, my official channel. If not, I'll link them in the description of the video as well. And yeah, thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you all